Welcome to a new story from My Heart to Yours channel. Today's story is Two Faces of Life, written by the channel. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to receive all our latest stories. Your support helps us create more great content. And now let's start today's story. Two Faces of Life. Youssef and Omar were identical twins to the point that even their parents found it difficult to tell them apart. Everything about them was the same. Their features, their voices, even their synchronized laughter. However, there was one major difference between them: how they viewed life. Their father was a kind and loving man who adored them equally. He treated them with fairness, played with them, taught them horseback riding and archery, and provided them with everything they asked for. As for their mother, she was a woman of stunning beauty, with dark, kohl-lined eyes and a warm voice that resembled the melodies of birds. She showered them with love, told them bedtime stories, and shared laughter and joy with them. She often said, "Life, my dear boys, is like a beautiful painting, but it only becomes complete with the colors we choose to add to it." She would tell them about her own childhood, how she ran through green fields, picked wildflowers, and played under the warm sunlight. She spoke of their grandfather, who, despite having little money, always laughed, told jokes, and said, "Happiness cannot be bought with gold. It is created in the heart." Youssef listened to her stories with wide, gleaming eyes, dreaming of those past days as if he were living them himself. Omar, on the other hand, would sometimes ask, "But why didn't you have everything? Didn't that make you unhappy?" His mother would smile and answer, "Happiness isn't about having everything, my dear. It's about loving what we have." Yet, despite everything, Omar always felt that something was missing, while Youssef was always grateful and content with every moment he lived. When they received two new swords, Youssef admired his sword's beauty and shine, while Omar complained that the grip was not comfortable enough. When they went on a hunting trip, Youssef enjoyed the fresh air and the breathtaking scenery, while Omar was annoyed by the heat and the dust. Even when their mother told them stories, Youssef was captivated by the wisdom in them, while Omar saw them as mere repetitions. One night, their mother sat beside them, gently placed her hand on Omar's head, and said, "My dear Omar, life is like these stories. You may find beautiful moments and painful ones, but what makes them wonderful is how we choose to see them. Every story has a lesson, and every day holds a gift, but it can only be opened with gratitude." As days passed, Omar kept wondering, "Why is Youssef happy while I am not? We have the same things, we live the same moments, so why does he feel fulfilled while I feel incomplete?" One day, he sat with his father and asked him, "Father, why do I always feel that something is missing, even though I live the same life as Youssef's?" His father smiled, placed a hand on his shoulder, and said, "My son, life gives us incomplete things, but it is we who complete them with contentment. Happiness is not in having everything, but in appreciating what we have." At that moment, Omar realized the truth that had eluded him for so long. Nothing was actually missing in his life. What he lacked was gratitude. From that day on, he began to see things the way Youssef did. He started noticing the blessings that had always been right in front of him, yet he had never truly seen them. One evening, he looked at his mother as she told them a new story, at her eyes filled with love, and at her voice carrying the warmth of the world. For the first time, he felt how lucky he truly was. He smiled, for the first time from the depths of his heart, and felt that the painting of his life, once incomplete, had finally become whole. And so, Omar learned that life has two faces, one full of blessings for those who see them, and another filled with lack for those who only search for what's missing. The choice was always in his hands.